Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Nottingham, and welcome to the Power of Full Engagement. We're going to do a 4-part series covering this topic. So I want you to fill in the blank. Blank flies when you're having fun. Time, right? If I only had blank in the day, I would be more productive. If I only had more time, I'd be more productive. So time then equals high performance. And I would submit to you, no, it isn't time that equals high performance. It's energy that equals high performance. And so we want more energy. And what we're going to be talking about in this 4-part series comes from the book, The Power of Full Engagement, written by Jim Lauer and Tony Schwartz. Hopefully I pronounced the first name correctly. Now, The Power of Full Engagement. These sports psychologists would work with great athletes, MBA, tennis, like Pete Sampras, Grant Hill, and they adapted the work with athletes into the business and personal realm. Because athletes can be very demanding. They have an off season, which we typically don't. Their average work lifespan is 5 to 7 years. Ours can be 20, 30, 40 years. So there is differences between athletes and what we do. They eventually get a break. We don't. But we can learn from some of these energy pillars that apply to athletes as well as to the workforce. Now, the power of full engagement compares two paradigms. The old paradigm is we want to manage time. We want to avoid stress. Life is a marathon, and downtime is wasted time. The new paradigm, however, says instead of managing time, we manage energy. Instead of avoiding stress, we want to seek stress. And life is a sprint, a series of sprints, not a marathon. And that actually downtime can be very productive time. For those that are seeing this conversation, this talk, I'm posting some images with it and some video, but I'll describe for those that are just listening. But here, if you look at life as a sprint, you have a marathon runner, you have a sprinter. Think about the physique of a marathon runner. They're very slender and skinny, not a lot of muscle, but a sprinter is powerful, big muscles. One does short bursts, powerful and strong. One does a lot of running and is very thin and fragile. So we want to be a sprinter in our life, not a marathon runner. Did you ever have that day where you worked all day, nothing got done, you're tired, you're irritable? Sure, we've had those days. What about this day? Got tons of energy. You didn't think you did that much work, but you got a lot done. What's the difference? Why? And I want to share with you this insight I called Midnight Madness. I remember putting together a presentation that I'm giving to you now that took me 3+ weeks to do. And this didn't feel right, so I redid it. I did a whole new presentation, this one, and I got 90% done in 3 hours, 70+ slides. So what's the difference? It's energy, not time. One took me 3 weeks, one took me 3 hours. Now, there are 4 types or levels, if we create a chart of energy. You have low, negative. So we're creating a horizontal axis and a vertical axis. You have the low at the bottom, the high at the top, the positive on the right. On the left, you have the negative. So the bottom, low, negative, you're exhausted, you're burnt out, you're hopeless. You could also have low, positive. You're relaxed, you're peaceful, you're mellow. And you can have high, negative, anger, fearful, defensive. What we're looking for to be fully engaged is high positive. You're confident, you're joyful, and you're connected. That's fully engaged. There are 4 principles to a fully engaged life. First, you want to draw energy from physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual or purpose energy. The second principle is renewal. You need to find a place to renew energy to avoid overuse or underuse. Principle 3, capacity. You want to build capacity so we can push beyond our normal limits in a systematic way. And 4th, rituals, positive energy rituals or automatic behavior to manage energy. To be fully engaged, you want to be physically energized, emotionally connected, mentally focused, and purposefully aligned. We're going to talk about physical energy in this episode. There are 4 gifts for energy. The first is sleep. 1 in 3 adults don't get enough sleep. According to the CDC, adults should get 7 to 9 hours per night. You got to be consistent with your schedule, early to bed, early to wake for productivity. So we want to get our sleep. Critical. And for those that say, oh, I only need 6 hours. No, you need 7 to 9. You need 8. The second gift is exercise. According to the National Institutes of Health, it is well established that exercise regulates mood. CDC recommends 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise and 2 days a week of strength training. So we need to get a lot of exercise. Do 30 minutes, if you can, 5 days a week of exercise. This way you can spread it out. Walking is a great low impact way, an easiest way to be consistent and that you can get that added benefit of mental energy. So make sure you're exercising. And again, I'm giving these broad brushes. When we talk about sleep, exercise, you've heard it before. It's well established. Do it. The third gift is diet. We want to eat, in many cases, 5 to 6 small meals per day. Some will do intermittent fasting and they do less. You guys find out what works for you. Eat a balanced, healthy diet. Minimize simple sugars. Breakfast every day. In most cases, that's going to be very helpful. Again, if you're doing fasting, that may not work. But there's many ways. You got to find the diet that works for you. But if you think about all these diets, keto, paleo, fasting, the whole goal here is you're going to be somewhat of a calorie deficit, if you will, to be able to maintain a healthy weight. Your goal is to maintain consistent energy levels. If you eat too little, you're going to be tired. If you eat too much, you're going to be tired. You need just enough to perform. Same thing with athletes. Hydration is the 4th gift. Water is life. We are 60% H2O, hydrogen, oxygen. Males should drink 16 cups of water or 125 ounces a day. Females should drink 11 cups of water, 91 ounces per day. So make sure you're drinking your water. Rest and recovery is important when it comes to energy expenditure. The higher you expend energy, the more rest and recovery you need. You've heard before, I'll sleep when I'm dead or I'll rest when I'm dead. It's a nice thing to say, but I would say nice, but it's interesting at first, but not nice for your body. The harder you work, the more rest you need. And in longevity studies, you see those that sleep more live longer. Those who rest more live longer. So that is the introduction to being fully engaged, the powerful engagement. We talked about the different pillars and we focused in on physical. So that is this. And then we're going to talk about the next energy pillar in the next episode. So make sure you share with your friends, like, subscribe, and follow. Comment if you can. And until next time, go out there and be an all-star.